Well, my name's Terence Holton. We're here downtown Los Angeles for an
LAUSD officials denounced the Trump administration's plans to eliminate the U.S. Department of Education. The district's message tonight to parents.
In the aftermath of the fires, residents miles away are concerned for the safety of their community.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Protesters are gathering in downtown Los Angeles to protest against Elon Musk's drastic federal cuts and mass layoffs. Hi, I'm Sebastian Soto.
I'm Peyton May. Our reporter Terence Holton is live in downtown at the protest. Terence, what's it looking like over there?
Well, guys, as you just mentioned, we're in downtown Los Angeles at the Federal Building, where people right behind me are protesting for the Stop Musk and Save Our Services Day of Action. Now, this was organized by the Federal Unionist Network, and as you can see, it's just getting started right now. Now, this wasn't the only protest that happened across the country, with them happening in Long Beach, Portland, and in New York, with some around 10,000 showing up in New York. Now, it wasn't the only protest, as I mentioned. This is about Elon Musk cutting government services and having people fired, as you can hear them chanting right behind me. Now, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency has cut down on billions of spending, according to the department's social media accounts, with many of those cuts aimed at diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Musk's involvement with the Trump presidency has been met with much hostility, and we're speaking with some at the rally who have their feelings toward the administration. Now, I apologize because our interview has gone over, and he's going to bring in right now. I'm going to bring in Steve Gutierrez. He's one of the heads of the National Funding. Now, Steve, thank you very much for joining me. And Steve, what are you guys doing here?
We're holding a rally to support federal employees and civil servants all over this country. Right now, we are under attack by this president's administration and Elon Musk, and we need to stop it. These brave men and women every single day serve the American public, diligently, dedicated, without giving any handshakes, any attaboys, or anything like that. So these folks are at risk of providing services to the American public and ultimately the taxpayer.
And Steve, have you been affected personally by any of these attacks by Musk or Trump?
Personally, as a union representative, I have many other wildland firefighters that have been affected by this. Many people that were fighting these forest fires up in the hills right now, they're able to save people's lives, save homes, and get people out of harm's way, and now they get slapped in the face with a resignation letter or a slip to say, hey, you're terminated and you're fired? What the heck is that about? How disrespectful of you to do that to my brothers and sisters that are out there.
Well, Steve, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate your time.
No, thank you.
Of course. And while protests here are springing up across the country, government spending is really in no near sight, with many cuts coming to federal workers. From downtown Los Angeles, Terence Holton, Annenberg Media.
Leaders across Los Angeles and with the LA Unified School District are speaking out against President Trump's executive orders. LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho joined California Congresswoman Nanette Berrigan today to denounce the administration's attacks on the Department of Education. They want parents to know that their children's education is safe.
First of all, this is not American values. This is not what we do in a democracy. This is what you do in a dictatorship.
We need to be very, very careful and very aware which part of our soul we're willing to sacrifice. As we say, that child shall go hungry because your state has a philosophy of life different from that of the federal government.
Important. Education should not be on the back burner, so to speak. And, our kids are our future.
The Trump administration has already instructed schools to end race-based programs where they risk losing federal funding.
I believe the United States helped Putin get out of many years of isolation. Unfortunately, President Trump, I have great respect for him as a leader of a nation that we have great respect for. The American people who always support us. Unfortunately, he lives in this disinformation space.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is accusing President Trump of helping Vladimir Putin and the Russian government isolate Ukraine. These remarks prompted a sharp response from Trump. Welcome back to Politics in Play, the segment where I update you on the world's biggest political headlines. Today, Donald Trump is back on top of social media's trending list, taking jabs at Ukraine's role in the war with Russia. Trump wrote, quote, "Zelensky admits that half of the money we sent him is missing. He refuses to have elections, is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left." Blaming Ukraine for Russia's invasion is drawing criticism from his own party.
Clearly, Vladimir Putin's responsible for this war. He started lying about special exercises in October before he invaded nearly 3 years ago. He lied about a special military operation. He had every intent to occupy all of Ukraine. His decision has resulted in the murder, rape, torture, and kidnapping of untold numbers of Ukrainians. He owns responsibility for this war.
Trump's decision to side with Russian views on the Ukraine conflict indicate a clear shift in U.S. foreign policy, as America becomes a nation that is rejecting its international system of alliances and friendships, just as the president's election campaign promised. Well, that's it for me, guys. Back to you. Thousands of volunteers will be out on the streets for a second night tonight for the annual LA Homeless Count. Volunteers combed the streets of LA County to count unhoused people for 3 days. The total count will be given to the USC School of Social Work, where the information is processed and a report is created for government officials.
The homeless count is pretty critical. Unhoused people are generally pretty undercounted in a lot of areas, and it's pretty necessary to make sure that homeless services are getting accurate counts and accurate funding from the government based on the number of unhoused people we have in LA. LA has one of the worst homelessness crises in the country. Having people go out there and not guessing how many unhoused people we have, but actually going out there and counting and talking to people and making sure that it's all correct, gives us a better understanding of the scope and the scale of the issue in Los Angeles.
In 2024, LAHSA's count estimated that 75,312 people were experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles County. In 2022, it was 69,144 homeless individuals.
The need is so great. Usually, we write checks in December to make donations, This year I bought clothes instead at Goodwill. And gave them away. I don't know, felt like it more made a difference,
Anyone interested in volunteering still has time. You can register to volunteer for tomorrow's count at theycountwillyou.org.
Debris removal is underway from last month's LA fires, and Calabasas residents are concerned that hazardous materials will make their way into the neighborhood.
We are protesting for the debris removal from the Palisades fire to not be placed at the Calabasas landfill. What we're asking for is that instead of bringing phase 2 debris removal to a residential landfill, that it all get packed up at once in the Palisades, stop the sorting, and take it all to Nevada, where they intend to take the phase 1 debris.
The Palisades fire destroyed over 6,000 homes and businesses. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has begun cleaning up the total 4 million tons of debris left by the fires. The city is continuing to test the toxicity of the waste.
Our Department of Beaches and Harbors, as well as our state partners, have stepped up to protect our coastline, removing large debris from beaches, and they are also testing sediment at Topanga and Will Rogers beaches. We know those areas are of particular interest. We are paying attention to them, and we're working with all of our partners to protect our coastline. These test results showed that the material was not hazardous to beachgoers or to our environment. However, testing will continue.
The Protect Calabasas group has been protesting all week, including one going on right now in front of the LA County Supervisor's Office. New resource centers have opened to help fire victims. Thousands have lost their home, others have lost a business or a job. 4 fire resource centers are now available to help people applying for benefits, employment opportunities, and small business loans. The centers are located in West LA, Boyle Heights, South LA, and Sylmar.
I only lost my job because of the Palisades fire. I directly got affected by it. I got laid off from my job because of that, and I'm here to basically see what kind of employment resources I could find. I think it was pretty chaotic at the beginning when I got fired or laid off. I mean, it was like, of course, unemployment was my first thing because I needed money as soon as possible. But finding resources to supplement my income and or, finding some sort of financial stability, it was pretty difficult.
All 4 of the new resource centers across LA are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The locations will also provide educational and mental health resources.
USC has launched a new website to track executive orders that might affect students. Many of them have questions and concerns. The website features direct links to the orders as well as other useful information. Grants and budget memos are also posted. The university has a message at the bottom of the page saying the website, quote, will be updated frequently. The university added, quote, please know that we are committed to supporting our community through these changes. The link to the website can be found at we-r.usc.edu.
Coming up, a student weighs in after the NYU College Republican president resigns after comments about Barron Trump.
He said it had all the
And the USC women's basketball team has been on fire. We'll hear from some of its biggest fans as the season winds down.
And the temperatures have been climbing. We take a look at this week's forecast coming up.
I'm Amy Grant. There was nothing about my life that said, you have a ticking time bomb in your chest. But I did. A few months later, I had open heart surgery that saved my life. And I owe it to the research and life-saving medical breakthroughs developed by the American Heart Association. Heart disease is America's #1 killer. So listen to your heart. I'm here today because I did. Learn more at helpheart.org.
As a mom, I want my kids' lives to be filled with joy and possibility. And I want that for every kid. That's why I support No Kid Hungry. They work in schools and communities to make sure every kid gets the healthy meals they need. Please join me in supporting No Kid Hungry for all kids.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
The new Health Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., wants to bar food stamp recipients from buying junk food. We talked to a USC student who's on food stamps.
Cannot use that to put a conclusion as to like every person with SNAP benefits is really using that to spend on junk food. I think a lot of people who use SNAP benefits really use it for their health and buy actually food so they can cook with. And I think that he should really take that into account. We can't really know what's going to happen, but the best that we can do and the power we can do is just voice any concerns I might have, because we're still eligible to vote and we're still able to voice our concerns.
The Associated Press reported that these changes would require either congressional action or waivers for states. One Oklahoma congressman has introduced a bill to make this change. Last year, almost 42 million people received food stamps. They cannot be used to buy alcohol, tobacco, or hot food.
The leader of the NYU College Republicans resigned after referring to Barron Trump as a, quote, oddity on campus in an interview with Vanity Fair. The College Republicans of America released this statement, quote, we are collaborating closely with the NYU chapter to ensure a smooth transition in leadership. Our goal is to reaffirm CRA's dedication to the ideals of the Republican Party and conservative movement in a manner that reflects honorably upon our organization and its mission.
Basically, she had an interview with Vanity Fair and that she called him an oddity on campus because he goes from class to home, which just like, to me personally, I don't think that was an insulting comment. I don't think that she was like trying to criticize him or say anything weird about him. I guess I feel bad for him, like to a certain extent. Like obviously he has a very privileged life and, you know, I'm sure he has a lot of great things going for him, but I do think that it sucks that just as a regular 18-year-old boy, he does not get to have the same experiences that like I had at 18 being a freshman at NYU.
The head of College Republicans says the organization would happily welcome Barron into its leadership, despite the comments made by the leader of the NYU branch.
After a rainy week, Angelinos are hoping for some sun. Let's head over to Kat with weather, who might have some good news for us.
Hello USC and welcome back to Weather with Kat. I'm your host, Kat Yee. Currently, it is a beautiful and sunny day outside with a current temperature of 63 degrees with humidity of 65%. Now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. On Thursday, it's sunny with a high of 74 and a low of 51. On Friday, it's sunny with a high of 75 and a low of 52. On Saturday, there is a high of 75 and a low of 51. This Sunday, there will be a high of 79, a low of 54, and a UV index of 5. It is the perfect weather to go hang out at the beach with your friends. This Monday, the sunny weather continues with a high of 79 and a low of 54. That's it for the weather. Peyton, back to you.
Thanks, Kat. Fresh off their win against UCLA last week, USC women's basketball is having their best season since 1982. Students and fans have been waiting in line hours before games to score a seat, and sophomore guard Juju Watkins just might have something to do with it.
I think it's amazing. It's so fun to watch, and I think it's just so cool that women's basketball and women's sports in general are like taking off in the sports world.
I think it's awesome that freaking Juju's just balling. It's awesome just to go watch and support the team.
We're at the UCLA-USC game. We're big Juju Watkins fans. Love to see her win.
She's awesome. I see her around campus sometimes, and I'm just in awe. Like, I used to play sports, but seeing her be so athletic and just fight on for us is really amazing.
The Trojans have 3 games left in their regular season, all against ranked opponents. They play number 22 Michigan State tonight at 6:30 p.m. and number 25 Illinois this Sunday at 1 p.m. They'll head across town with a rematch against rival UCLA on March 1st at 6 p.m.
USC women's basketball showed Sunday that the Huskies were all bark and no bite. The USC baseball team was busy sending balls into space against UC Irvine. And the sun is shining, and so is the spotlight on the USC women's beach volleyball team. Sports coming up next.
There are places in this world where hope is a rare and precious gift. But in those places, there exist ships of mercy, driven by the hearts and hands of volunteers who believe in something bigger than themselves. Working together, they found their purpose, serving those with the greatest need, and discovering what it means to give their all. To see how you can change lives, visit mercyships.org today.
One more time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
When you hear the words nonprofit organization, what comes to mind? Is it a place your dog called home before finding you? Is it an organization that supports accessibility or fights for our most basic needs? It's impossible to show all the ways nonprofit organizations make a difference in our world. But it's not impossible to be part of it. Reach out to a nonprofit organization that inspires you today to find how you can help make the world a better place.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Kamyar Moradi.
And I'm Dominique Williams. USC women's hoops look to close out the regular season in Los Angeles. The women of Troy will host number 22 ranked Michigan State squad before celebrating Senior Day against Illinois on Sunday. USC returns back in the top 5 of the AP polls after coming off their biggest win of the entire women's basketball season when they beat UCLA plus the Washington Huskies last week. The visiting Michigan State nearly stole a top 5 win in their first game in LA over the weekend, losing to number 3 ranked UCLA by 6 points. Number 4 USC will need to turn up the tempo to contain a fast-paced Spartans team. The Juju show continues. Watkins has hit the glass harder at home, averaging 7.1 rebounds per game than on the road, especially in conference play. She's averaged 8.5 rebounds across 8 Big Ten home games, nearly 2 more than her road average. Watkins' talent continues to bring more eyes to women's basketball in LA.
Look around the room. Just a few years ago that people said women's basketball in LA can't be big, can't be covered, can't be sold out. And I think you guys, us together, all keep proving that wrong. So appreciate that.
No better time to be a women's basketball fan. USC sophomore phenom Juju Watkins is making her mark on and off the court in a huge way in LA. A Juju Watkins mural was spotted under construction in downtown Los Angeles. What are your thoughts on women's basketball athletes having a banner year, Kamyar?
I absolutely love it. I think it's a banner that was very much deserved. I think it's a long time coming. She is the biggest athlete on campus right now. Super deserved from her.
I know. I can't wait till the WNBA draft when she comes out in 2027. But, you know, who else I would think should have a banner is Rickea Jackson, because she's also making waves in Los Angeles and pretty much pushing the women's basketball forward just in total.
I can't wait to see it.
All right, you can catch Juju and the women of Troy tonight versus Michigan State at the Galen Center with tip-off at 6:30 p.m.
Remember what I told you about Big Al last week? The USC baseball team heard and delivered. Dingers were hit, nukes were launched, and gas was thrown on the mound as the team opened their season 4-0 for the first time since 2017. The Trojans brought out the brooms against the Revolutionaries and kept the good times rolling against UC Irvine yesterday. The 5-2 victory was highlighted by an absolute moonball hit by Ethan Hedges for a grand salami in the top of the 6th. Offense has come in bunches for USC this year as they sit top 50 in the country in total runs, triples, home runs, and hits. I don't think I've ever talked about baseball this much in my entire life, but I will not rest until this squad of Stub Muffins is recognized by the country as a top 25 team. The team hopes to make it 5 in a row to start the season against the 274th ranked CSU Bakersfield.
Well, get ready for a season full of sand, sun, and spectacular volleyball action. USC's women's beach volleyball opens their 2025 season on the legendary Queen Sand, ready to dominate the net in Honolulu, Hawaii. The number 1 ranked women of Troy will meet 6 top 15 opponents over 3 days of action. Last season, USC claimed a 4-1 win over UCLA in its opener. The Trojans look to continue its reign at the top and prove why they are the team to beat. In openers, the Trojans own 5 5-0 sweeps, 5 4-1 victories, and 3 3-2 decisions. Last time out, the Trojans claimed their 4th straight NCAA championship after sweeping through 4 teams in the Gulf Shores. Ahead of the national tourney, USC took down Stanford and UCLA to claim its 5th Pac-12 crown and will ride a 6-duel win streak into the new season. The women of Troy will be chasing destiny. USC are 13-0 in season openers and will face tournament host Hawaii on Thursday. First serve is set for 1 p.m. Pacific time.
Running, 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 running. All my ops be running, 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 running. The USC women's 60-meter and 200-meter teams were recently recognized by the U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association as number 1 in the entire nation. He a runner, he a track star. He gon' hurdle when it gets hard. Bowerman watchlist athlete and my former classmate Johnny Brackens Jr. set the world record with a time of 7.48 seconds in the men's 60-meter hurdles. That's why he's been recognized as Big Ten Track Athlete of the Week. The Big Ten Indoor Championships get underway next Friday, February 28th in Indianapolis, where USC looks to have no friends in the industry and smoke their competition like Sha'Carri on and off the track. And that's all for ATVN Sports. I'm Kamyar Moradi.
And I'm Dominque Williams.
Just ahead, we'll take you to a Lunar New Year celebration. We'll be right back.
You ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see?
Oh, Max, you broke it. No, don't do that. Bad boy.
Find out what we're made of. When we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3. I'll be there.
I believe most people are good and most mamas ought to qualify for sainthood. I believe most Friday nights look better under neon or stadium lights. I believe you love who you love, ain't nothing you should ever be ashamed of. I believe this world ain't half as bad as it looks. I believe most people are good.
I thank God for my life and for the stars and stripes. May freedom forever fly. Let it ring. Salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we
Thank you.
love.
And welcome home.
Like our chicken fries.
It's the year of the snake. The Lunar New Year officially ended February 12th, but Los Angeles City College continued the celebration. Today, the LACC community came together to serve delicious food, hang lanterns, and fill a room with decor in a celebration of Chinese tradition. Teachers and students were excited to share and support Asian culture in Los Angeles.
We want to send out a very strong statement, at least for Los Angeles City College, which is near Koreatown, historic Filipino town, and other Asian communities around us, that we are here to support them.
Recognizing our tradition and paying respects to our ancestors, particularly in the United States, trying to include everyone and letting everyone know about our culture.
I think it's really special to learn and be open to new ideas and cultures and religions.
The LACC hosts other similar events like this throughout the year, such as their Black Heritage celebration next Tuesday.
Peyton, any thoughts on the Michigan State game tonight? You going to be going?
Yeah, I'm not making it over tonight, unfortunately, but I do actually have tickets for the game against UCLA on March 1st. I waited on hold at the UCLA ticket office for an hour, but I got $50 tickets.
That's going to be a big one.
I'm super excited. What about yourself?
I personally have not been to a women's basketball game this year. Tonight might be the night.
Okay,
maybe
you should. You should. Right after today's show, you got about 30 minutes to get over there.
Absolutely. Change out of the suit and run over down to the game.
That's a great plan.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Sebastian Soto.
And I'm Peyton May. For more coverage, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time. Good night.